The knock was precise, professional, 3 taps that didn't ask for permission. I checked the clock. 6:42 a.m., Mondays are for consequences. Police, a voice said, calm, neutral, the kind that already knows the ending. I didn't panic. I'd already lived this moment 100 times in my head, back when panic was still useful. I opened the door, barefoot, coffee cooling behind me, and watched my past arrive in uniform. 2 years after I divorced my unfaithful wife, this was how the story resurfaced. Not with tears. With a warrant, they said her name, they said fraud. They said statements had changed overnight. I nodded. Understood. That word has always been my trigger. I loved her once. That's the part people forget when they retell it. We were a team before we were a marriage. Late nights, shared calendars, inside jokes scribbled on receipts. She knew my tells. I knew hers. I trusted the silence between us. The company came later. My company. I didn't put my name on the door because I believed in quiet ownership. I believed in leverage you don't announce. She called it old-fashioned. She called me outdated. She was already practicing. The tone she'd use when she left. Didn't catch her in a dramatic way. No lipstick on collars. No motel receipts. Betrayal isn't loud when it's competent. It's subtle. A changed password. A calendar error. A dinner that kept moving later. The moment that snapped the thread was smaller than it deserved to be. I noticed a bank notification blink and vanish on her phone. A second too late. A fraction too fast. Muscle memory from someone hiding often. I didn't confront her. I never do. I started listening. Pain is expensive. Planning is cheaper. Divorce is a performance if you let it be. I didn't. I made it procedural. While she packed the narrative, I packed documents. While she curated sympathy, I curated timelines. I hired people who don't ask why. I archived messages she thought were gone. I mirrored drives. I built a map of her lies and pinned dates to them like butterflies. At the same time, I prepared something else. Something older than the marriage. The retirement trust. My grandfather's idea. Silent, patient, designed to wait out storms and fools. 76% of the shares lived there. Voting rights asleep unless triggered. Triggered only by an event defined as material misrepresentation by an executive officer. I was the architect. I was also the bait. The day she pushed me out, she rehearsed it. I could tell. The CEO leaned forward, lips thin with practiced authority. You're outdated. We're done here, he hissed. I replied quietly. Understood. That was the moment the retirement trust activated its voting rights. By Monday morning, the board convened an emergency meeting. Phones buzzed. Assistants whispered. One question cut through the room like a blade. Who just fired the person who owns 76% of the shares? I wasn't there to watch. Power is cleaner when it doesn't gloat. She thought the divorce was the win. She took the house, the car, the applause. I took my time. I let her settle into the confidence that comes from thinking you got away with it. I let the affair partner become a liability. I let the accounting mistakes stack high enough to collapse under their own weight. When the police knocked, it wasn't about me. It never is. It was about the shell company she'd signed for with my old notary stamp. The statements she'd sworn were accurate. The dates she'd misremembered. People confess when they're tired. Evidence helps. They took her in that afternoon. Not dramatically, efficiently. Her lawyer called me twice. I didn't answer. The third time he texted, she says you set her up. I smiled at the honesty of it. Setting someone up requires deception. I gave her mirrors. The board issued statements. The CEO resigned to pursue other opportunities. The trust voted. I returned, not as a man seeking revenge, but as a majority that prefers stability. Markets love stability. When it was over, I sat alone in my office and listened to the building breathe. I thought about the nights I'd questioned my worth. The mornings I'd swallowed anger because I didn't yet know what to do with it. Betrayal doesn't break you. It refines you if you let it. I didn't feel joy. I felt alignment. Justice doesn't need shouting. It needs patience, paperwork, and a memory that doesn't forgive too quickly. 2 years later, the police stopped knocking. The call slowed. My name returned to footnotes where it belonged. Quiet ownership. Quiet strength. I poured a fresh cup of coffee and watched the city wake up. No regret, no apology. Just the clean, cold comfort of knowing I didn't lose anything I didn't choose to give away. Understood.